So we have to understand something more in the Gita. There is a reasoning. We always talk in terms of the reasoning. We put the logic, and we also define all our rituals with a reasoning. So we have to be very clear and no doubt. The Eastern wisdom basically is not about logic, analytical paths. Then we put the logic in reasoning because that is how the Gita has been explained. So we have to be very clear. So we can reason anything without any basis. People are talking, gossiping. Oh, is there a God? They have not read any religious texts. They don't know anything about any of these texts. They have not reflected. They have not understood. So they just put the logic. I'm a theist and I'm theist and I'm agnostic, etc., etc. No, Eastern wisdom is not following that process, that path. So, what is that reasoning? That is a wrong reasoning. So, there are three types of reasoning: right reason, wrong reason, and neutral reason. Neutral. Oh, where is your restroom? Where is your kitchen? Which car you have? It's a neutral reason. Oh, this car I have. Then there is a wrong reason, which has no foundation, which has no way of coming to a conclusion. Which party is good, Republican or Democrat? Which president is good? So it is all perceived opinion. It is my perceived opinion, and perceived opinion may be wrong. Then there is a right reason. So Gita puts, but what is the right reason? What is the right reason? So, Eastern wisdom, pay attention that you have now the entire process. We have to remember the moment you see that the right reasoning is not done, ask your mind that where is the right reason. We start with a statement related to the absolute truth, but that absolute truth is very compressed. It is cryptic, it is compressed, it is a, you can say it is a zip file. So by reasoning, we open that zip file to understand and reach to the absolute truth. It is not question about you believe in God, you can still study Gita. You don't believe in God, you can still study Gita. But then you have to start with that absolute truth. And then we have to put the reason to arrive at a conclusion to find that find and reach to a state of awakening. That is the reason we have hundreds of the text, including some topical text. Three major texts. One is the Gita. Second, we will go to the Upanishad. And the third, we will go to the Brahma Sutra. Why? If the Gita helps you to reach to the higher state, nothing doing, you have already reached. Because Gita is the summary of all the Upanishads. But sometimes we still have the doubts, then we have to go to the Upanishads, and then we have to find the ultimate reasoning is the Brahma Sutra. Whether Ramakrishna Paramhans, Nisargadatta Maharaj, they always refer indirectly or indirectly these two basic texts. But these two basic texts, it's very difficult to understand. For example, what is absolute truth? Now see, what is absolute truth? It is Satchitanand. What is Satchitanand literally translated into English? It is absolute truth. No, absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. Bliss is permanent happiness. Now, what do you mean by absolute existence? Oh, absolute existence is all pervading. Yeah, it is all pervading. Yes, it is all pervading. It is present here and now. It is. What do you mean? Then why we are searching it? Because you don't know. Why you don't know? Because there is an ignorance. So what is that ignorance? The moment the human being is born, ignorance is controlling them. So then we introduce the word God. What is God? That controls the ignorance and the knowledge. We are controlled by the ignorance. Oh, so that reference, we are taking the reference of that God. Okay, this is what, now you see the clarity is there. So we start with the statement. We start with the principle of Eastern wisdom. We don't start, oh, do you believe in God? Oh, yeah, you believe in this. So you are a theist. You don't believe in God, atheist. It does not make any difference. There is no change in the lifestyle. There is no change in the behavior and attitude. We are just living. We are living the same way. We get still worried and concerned. We still fight with our honey. We still react. We still live in ignorance. You are a theist or a theist. It does not make any difference.
Can
Can
I
I
share an
share an
experience and
experience and
see if
see
it
if it
has
has
any
any
relevance?
relevance?
Even though
Even
I
though I
know what
know
an
what an
experience,
experience,
I know
I
that
know
an
that an
experience
experience
isn't
isn't
me,
me,
right?
right?
But
But
my
my
last, the
the
night
night
before
before
last, I
last, I
was
was
doing
doing
practice
practice
for
for
several
several
hours,
hours,
and
and
I
I
had
had
this
this
like
like
feeling
feeling
of
of
like a
like
very
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 strong
strong
emotion,
emotion,
but
but
almost
almost
like
like
I
I
want to
want to
say the
say the
word
word
love,
love,
right?
right?
Like
Like
was
was
like,
like,
and
and
I
I
realized that
realized that
like I
like I
was
was
just
just
like
like
flooding
flooding
with
with
tears.
tears.
It was, and
And
I
I
remember
remember
thinking
thinking
about,
about,
I
I
thought
thought
about
about
the
the
Krishna
Krishna
saying
saying
that,
that,
you know, his
his
devotees
devotees
who,
who,
you know, focus
focus
and
and
think
think
only
only
of
of
him
him
are
are
like
like
nothing
nothing
bad
bad
can
can
happen,
happen,
right?
right?
Like
Like
if
if
they're
they're
sincerely
sincerely
seeking,
seeking,
because I
because I
remember I
remember
was
I was
thinking,
thinking,
man,
man,
I
I
can't
can't
tell if
tell
my
if my
body's
body's
like,
like,
if
if
I'm
I'm
right. I
right.
was
I was
kind of,
kind
my
of, my
body
body
was
was
completely
completely
asleep
asleep,
and
and
I
I
was
was
aware,
aware,
and
and I was,
I
I
thought,
thought,
oh,
oh,
I don't
I
have
don't
to
have
be
to be
nervous. You
nervous.
know, Krishna's
Krishna's
like
like
takes
takes
care of
care of
his
his
devotees.
devotees.
And the
And the
thought
thought
of
of
that
that
made me
made me
like,
like,
I
I
could
could
feel
feel
like the
like the
love
love
of
of
Krishna, and
Krishna,
I
and I
thought it
thought it
was
was
like
like
overwhelming.
overwhelming.
And then
And then
I
I
thought
thought
of,
of,
I
I
also
also
thought
thought
of
of
you and
you
how
and how
you're
you're
always
always
ready,
ready,
right?
right?
You
You
always
always
say,
say,
I'm
I'm
ready.
ready.
You, I'm
I'm
always
always
ready.
ready.
I'm
I'm
always
always
here. And
here.
I
And I
thought
thought
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
like,
like
and
in
that
that
maybe,
maybe
I
I
could
could
feel
feel
the
the
love
love
in
in
that.
that.
It
It
was
was
just,
just
it was
it was
quite an
quite an
experience, and
experience, and
I
I
could
could
see,
see,
you know, it's an
an
experience,
experience,
but
but
it
it
was
was
almost
almost
like
like
an
an
outside
outside
feeling
feeling
coming
coming
in,
in,
right?
right?
And
And
it
it
felt
felt
foreign.
foreign. You should sit in that kind of a contemplation and reflection every day. Let the tears overwhelm you completely. That tearing down is a state of dispassion. You have contemplated, that is discernment. You have reached to a point where there is a state of dispassion comes. What is that dispassion? In the previous session, I was just talking. I am happy because of this reason outside in the world. So it means if that object is absent, I will experience the sense of emptiness and I'm unhappy. But what is the dispassion point? I am happiness. So I'm not looking for I'm happy or unhappy. I'm just looking, mind is now absorbed deeper inside, and it is I am the happiness. It is the state of dispassion. That is one facet. Another facet is that this is also a dispassion because you contemplated and reflected, and ultimately your mind moved from seeking happiness from the world outside. It is seeking happiness in the Krishna. That is why we have Krishna, we have Shiva, we have Goddess Kali in case of Rama Krishna Paramahansa. What is the principle behind it? That is what I explained. What is that principle? we start with understanding who is Krishna in the Shiva. Consciousness plus Satoguna is known as the Ishvara, and that Ishvara is Krishna in the Shiva. So, what is happening? I have to move my emotions in the mind instead of getting attached, emotionally attached to a lot of stuff outside. Now I have only one to be attached, whether it's a Krishna or Shiva or Kali or Guru, whosoever. So my mind wants to look. My mind is seeking. My mind is wants to see, perceive, look. What is that entity which is made up of purely satoguna? And that brings the mind to a state of dispassion. And that state of dispassion is wonderful state.
I think because a similar thing happened on Sunday or Monday, and I've had like smaller versions. So all week, Carlene was like, "Have you slept the whole week?" I thought, I tell you, yeah. But I've been at night. I'm just like, I can't not search. I think, oh man, I felt like if I can get the mind quiet, that steps in, right? And that's like a totally different dimension. And you're right, it's self-fulfilling. It doesn't need anything.
Yesterday, since morning when I wake up, today a lot of Shiva and Krishna are coming. So the mind was totally overwhelmed with that pure emotion. Oh, I'm offering what I received from the Krishna. So your mind moves into the same. Oh, food is Krishna. Who is offering is Krishna. Who is delighted is the Krishna, or Shiva, or Kali. So we are basically evolving the mind because the ignorance is controlling me. I want to control the ignorance. So I'm moving into the Satoguna, and that creates a sacred space. That creates a sacred space.
And the first time in my whole life, I felt like maybe a higher self, literally giving me instruction or talking to me. And I remember it would say like, no, you don't have to be afraid of that. That's fine. And I was like, I don't think that's me. Right? I'm like completely taken care of in this moment. And I remember the beauty of knowing that I was like so loved by this entity or whatever was just an overwhelming state. And I thought, I don't know. Yeah, it was. How do you not? How do you not get attached to that above all things? Everything else becomes. I mean, no other happiness even compares that I've ever experienced.
So it is the same thing. I am attached to an object outside? No. I recognize it through contemplation and reflection, and let I have something to get attached. Who is that? Krishna, Shiva, Kali. Okay. So you use the attach. No, I'm not attached to anything. Yes, now. The moment I am attached to something outside, it means I'm seeking the infinite, all pervading in a limited, in a finite object. That is known as the attachment to the world, which is very painful. Absence, loneliness, duality, and a conflict. But when I'm attached to the absolute, who is absolute Krishna, who is absolute Shiva, who is absolute Goddess Kali. So you see, I told you in the very beginning, we put the reasoning, we start, oh, Krishna is an epitome of the absolute consciousness. Oh, so it is his form, it is his attributes. And now I'm attached to that through the contemplation and reflection. And that results not only into the tears, and we see, we experience the higher consciousness. Can you imagine the moment anyone enters knocks the door? Oh, my Shiva has come. My Krishna has come.
Mhm.
When you have that feeling, everything falls into the right place. You like the food even if it is not tasty. That is what we, and that is also done by the Mangala Charan. So we have to use this Mangala Charan every time we meet. Mangala Charan, normally for a non-seeker, we say, oh, let us create a sacred space. So we close eyes, and even in yoga studios, we say Om Shanti. Oh, let us do 3 times Om. People are, their mind is distracted. So they don't put the logic, they don't want people to understand why we do it. Oh, it's a sacred symbol, so let us do it. It calms down my mind. No, we are not more interested in calming the mind. We are interested in taking the mind deeper, deeper, deeper inside. Now you see the ritual meets the reason based on the statement Mangalacharan. For a non seeker, we create a space, sacred space. For a seeker, we enter into the sacred space, it is already there. Teaching is the same, practice is the same, principle is the same, but because of the knowledge now you have, oh, that space is already within me. Means what? Anytime, anywhere, I can enter into that space by moving the mind within. Moving the. So it means what? I am proving to myself through perception and experience that real self is available anytime, anywhere, in any condition, in any location. And that when the mind picks up this movement by raising its awareness, we move ahead. We move ahead. So let us see. Just close your eyes for a few minutes. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva. Your tears came down and you moved into the higher consciousness. Masters have created the verse. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva. You are my father, you are my mother. Tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva. You are my friends, you are my siblings. Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva. Tvameva, you are the giver of knowledge. That is the greatest wealth. Dravinam tvameva. You are also the giver of the wealth outside, and you are giver of everything. So it means you are present in everything. O Supreme, whether you say Krishna or Shiva, we are addressing, our mind is addressing our body, the very vessel that allows us to experience the life, our breath, the fundamental life force that sustains us moment by moment. He is present. Tvamev. It is you. Our mind, with its capacity for thought, feeling, and understanding, living a right kind of a life. It is you who is inspiring me. What I'm doing, I'm entering into the sacred space. I'm not creating it. I'm entering, I'm discovering. Material provisions, wealth, and resources, you are the giver and you are nurturing me. You are giving me the guidance. You are helping me to grow intellectually. You are helping me to grow spiritually. And open your eyes. So more and more you do every day, you may have the tears every time. That is what the Ram Krishna Ramakrishna had it. No, when the moment I hear the name of the Kali, and Kali appears before me. So you see that you are already studying this Gospels of Ramakrishna. So what did you see again? The principle. Then we follow the ritual. Then we give the reason for understanding. And
Well, even now, if I do Om Shanti
yeah,
Shanti,
yeah,
like by the third Shanti, I'm like,
yeah.
because I bring in, and then it's Sham, like you said.
Shanti, Shanti. So what happens? Your mind becomes adapted to these mantras and the verses, and anytime, anywhere, you do it mentally, and you change your state of awareness. You did not create it; you entered into that space. That is the
What's that mantra you just did?
Tumeva Mata Yeah, that is another in one Purana. So I will send you that. This is
Oh
also
yeah,
known as the Shanti mantra.
because I
So
usually do Asatoma
yeah,
Sakamaya.
yeah, that is also good.
I do that one a lot, but
That is also good because why that is good? Because you understand that that what is that? That asatoma satgamaya, it is also the same thing. Why it is the same thing? Just think of it. Why it is the same thing? Why it is the same thing? Just a minute, what happened? Yeah, yeah. So, yes. So, why it is this asatoma satgamaya? Asat, false, too real. What is, you see the statement first, then we give a reason and we follow the practice. What is false? That is ignorance, that is superimposition. Even the moment I say I have a lot of stress, that is false. Why it is false? Find out, contemplate, and reflect what the mind is seeking outside. You are already in false in relationship to the world outside. That is why it is false. So, what it means then, what is the truth? That is the absolute real self or the supreme consciousness. The same thing. So, that is why we have so many texts. Mostly these maybe 50 or 60 principles are there. Then you have sub principles. That is all. But so now you compare Asatoma Satgamaya with you are my father and mother, you are my friends, you are my siblings. So the approach is different, but it is message is the same. I'm recognizing what is false in Asatoma Satgamaya. Here in Twameva Mata Chapita, I'm only recognizing the positive aspect. Now the mind is a great seeker. It does not want to get involved into whatever is false. So let it remain outside. Let it remain outside my home. My home means my body, my mind, my intellect, my ego. You live outside. I'm not interested in you. I'm attached to Krishna. I'm attached to Shiva. I'm attached to Kali. Attached. I identify. How can I identify? I identify this man as my father. I identify this woman as my mother. So same way I identify Krishna as my father and mother. Where's the problem? So one in the process of asatoma satgama, it's both the process. You drop what you are not. What you are not is the false. What you are not is the ignorance. What you are not is the death. So you contemplate and reflect. Am I the body? No. Yes. Start with the yes. I am the body. Yes. So I am the body. So it means body is subjected to change. So can it stop changing if I say I am the body? Answer is no. It is the nature. It is the fundamental principle of existence. So if the body is changing, you are saying changes at a particular time is a death. It is changing. So if you claim that you are the body, then also accept all the attributes of the body, which is keeps on changing. One day it will change and defragment itself. Why you are worried? So there is no fear. If you go to the ultimate cause of the body, which is not, which is keeps on changing, and I am the body, so I accept that change. There is no fear. Another logic, another reasoning, that if I'm not the body, I don't die. I don't die. But I have to find out what is that I am that doesn't die. That is the real self. So in both the cases, mrityurmamritangamaya, let me move from mortality to immortality. Who is that immortal in the body? Why I say that we take many births. So what is that which takes many births that never dies? Body changes, name changes, country changes. Oh, yes, that is the masses. We distort the masses. Why we distort the masses? We don't start with the principle. So it's a wrong reasoning. And then when we have a wrong reasoning, then we fall into greater ignorance, and then we have a lot of challenges in our life. Then we fall below the consciousness. You are a great seeker today, you become a non seeker tomorrow. It is possible. Until we are fully settled into that state, there is no chance. Even if there are a lot of challenges and the problems in our life, we are not moving. We remain untouched.
That's funny you say that. I realized when I was doing my practice, I was thinking the most solid thing in the world is the self, right? Because I thought there's never a gap or a discontinuity. It's like solidly everywhere at once, always. And I realized, yeah, I don't this move at all, never do move. It's immovable and solid, more solid than anything. And I thought, what a strange, I mean, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but my true experience versus what I see and experience, the inner experience was a solid block of awareness that is
solid means whatever is changing, I perceive it depends on that is unchanging. That is the meaning of the solid. I'm explaining you these words. People, yes, you use it. Obviously, you have used it because of your contemplation and reflection. What is solid? Solid means symbolically, it means unchanging. So everything that changes in the world must have the ultimate cause that is unchanging, and that is solid. And what is that solid? That is what the real self is. That is what we are searching. That is what we are going to find. But now, where we are finding, I'm happy eating pasta, very good. So you are happy eating pasta. How can you eat 10-15 minutes? Now you are not eating, you have finished eating. So you have sense of emptiness. So you have a fear of not getting the pasta. That makes you unhappy. But you are searching happiness outside in the world. I am happy, so I should be unhappy. I'm happy because of this. I'm unhappy because I don't find this. What Krishna says, why don't you recognize your happiness? Why you are running anywhere? You are happiness. I am happy. I must become unhappy. I'm happy getting married. Really? Wait for a couple of months and years, then I will ask you. So it means The moment I say I'm unhappy, I'm sowing the seed of unhappy. So I have to move. This is false. Now I'm moving to the truth, the real. What is the foundation? I'm happiness. So when I'm happiness, okay, when I'm happiness, but why it is not happening? Because you are looking outside. But why you are looking outside? Because you have falsely projected the happiness on different objects, people, things. Oh, this is what you are. Yes. Now you see the clarity in the intellect. You have to contemplate daily and reflect daily why, until the mind removes all the false projections and the perceptions, what happens? You are overwhelmed with the pure emotion. Oh, Krishna is everything for me, Shiva is everything for me, for Ramakrishna, Kali is everything for me. So we are using that is now the clarity is there. Now I know what Krishna does to me. So when the Krishna does everything to me, so you are my father, you are my mother, you are my sibling, you are my friend. You are my friend. You are the giver of that knowledge.
I had the same sensation. The perfection of the Gita and the teaching was also like such love, the way it was given. I don't know why love is the word but it seemed to be like that's what I was experiencing.
While speaking, I don't see that I'm teaching. I'm also overwhelmed, as if my mind is overwhelmed with that pure emotion. It happens. You live into that space. By the way, I'm deviating only for a minute so that you can also should get a glimpse of it. Uh, Krishna is meditated as a small baby. So why? Because you give the fatherly affection in the love. You give the motherly affection in the love. So you are attached to the childhood Krishna. Then Krishna is also meditated as a great friend. Arjuna and Krishna were great friends. Krishna is also meditated as the supreme consciousness, as an epitome of the real self. The same thing with the Shiva. I'm just explaining only of the Krishna. Then the Krishna is also meditated as as a as a you know as the ultimate cause of the entire world. Now you see what Ramakrishna did it, you might have studied. He did all the practices. He followed more than 20 paths, including the path of the Christianity. And he recognized and realized he had a vision of the Jesus souls. In that context, I'm explaining you. That is the journey of the Eastern wisdom. Ramakrishna worshipped or meditated Krishna as Radha. Radha. Radha, beloved. And many of his students living with him saw that Ramakrishna developed even the breast. The physical changes take place. It's not magic. It happens. So he did for about 6 months. He developed the full breast. Milk was there. He returned. He did another practice, and his body changed accordingly. He was a unique master. He was a unique master. Yes, Arvindo was another master who was a unique master. He did also other practices, but then he maintained the highest level of dispassion, Arvindo. And here, Ramakrishna followed the path of the emotion.
Mhm.
It is 100% possible. It is possible. So going back
I
to
never thought I would be able to experience anything like that because I never was raised with any religion or God
yeah,
or
yeah,
right. And I thought, well, that's for you guys because
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
how am I ever going to convince my mind? But then
Yeah.
here I am.
No, it all depends on in some Ramakrishna, his mind seems to be very pure. He understood the path, he followed the path. And within 6 months he reached to the same state. And he says that when I worshipped Kali, I reached to the same state. When I uh, worshipped Krishna, I reached to the same state. When I had a vision of the Jesus, I reached to the same state. He practiced lot of tantra practices,
Oh,
almost 20 paths.
how honest he is. He says, at one point, he says, I got rid of all my Hindu gods because I was Muslim or something. Right? And he's just so open. And he says, you know, whatever happens to him, he just shares it like he's sharing a story about somebody else. And it's
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I think when I was in Indonesia, lot of Muslim guys raised the question that you are asking me to worship Krishna or meditate on the Krishna. I said no. I said no. You follow the path of Eastern wisdom, you become a better Muslim. That is what the Eastern wisdom teaches. You are a Christian, you practice Eastern wisdom. It is a technology behind how to pray. Jesus, what exactly is the prayer? What prayer you offer, what it means, how to understand that, you become a better Christian. One Christian approached my master and asked him that, I just want to change the religion. He said, why? Because I find there is a relevance in it. He said, no, I won't allow you to. You understand the Eastern wisdom, you understand the principle. Remain with the religion until you reach to the highest point. What is the highest point? My master said, wonderful thing. Now, all these religions are beaches. Eastern wisdom is an ocean. I still remember. Oh, oh. So it's, but one has to be a seeker to understand these principles. you, you just, this is all about teaching religion, and no, we don't teach anything like this. We don't teach anything like this. So, meaning, so what we have done, there are three. Again, we have, I'm just taking another final call. Three steps by the seeker in the first verse, and I'm using three promises by the master in the same verse. That is the first verse. That is an introduction of the seventh chapter. And that lays the foundation. Three steps by the seeker. Always. Always. Attachment of the mind to the divine. Practice of self discipline that includes, that, if I say that includes regular listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, practice and experience. You can add Mangalacharan in the mantra, and yes, and organized lifestyle. Organized lifestyle. You have right food to eat, You should remember, eat to live or live to eat. Right sleep, why right sleep? Right sleep, I'm adding more. Right effort, it means that you should not do an underperformance, you should not do over so that you are feeling lot of tiredness. From one tiredness, you second day you are also tired, third day you are tired, you will forget to contemplate and reflect. Your mind will take more care about, oh, let me take care of the body first. Let me take care of the body. So you see, I'm just expanding that area. Many masters have put that way, and it appeals to me. It appealed to me in the attachment of the mind to the divine. Means what? I am happy or unhappy. We move from there to I am happiness, and that happiness is Krishna. I cannot see happiness, so let me use the word Krishna. So that is the first three promises by the seeker, three steps by the seeker, and three promises by the Krishna. That is what is the first chapter. So first step by the seeker, attachment of the mind to the Krishna. Now we are going to understand what is Krishna. I have already given you consciousness, or the supreme consciousness, or the absolute existence consciousness, bliss. We simply say consciousness plus satoguna. Satoguna means here it is Maya is equal to Ishvara. So now we are explaining the Krishna. Consciousness plus rajas and tamoguna is equal to individual. Who is an individual? I and you. So individual is controlled by the ignorance. Krishna controls the ignorance and the knowledge. So if the Bill Gates has lot of the wealth, so you say, okay, Bill Gates, you can give me $1 billion. Bill Gates says, get out. So why the prayer and the worship has been introduced? Why the Mangalacharan has been introduced? I have to approach with the humility. Same thing. Same process. So we have coined the word prayer and the worship and meditation or emotional attachment. You use anything that it's okay. You don't want to use prayer, don't use the prayer. But tell me how you are, if you want to extract everything from the Bill Gates, how you are going to approach him.
I like Ramakrishna too, and he says, "No, demand it." You know, when a baby cries, its mother comes. Right? He's like, "Cry."
That is another perspective. Yes, that is another perspective of this attachment to the divine. So now you see that. Just imagine a baby crying in helplessness. You rightly reminded, baby is crying in helplessness. But now, what is this helplessness? Explain the helplessness. There is one book based on this entire journey. It is known as the path of the bhakti. Helplessness means for a baby, I don't know anyone except you, mom. I'm crying for you. I don't know anyone except you. Clear? Okay. Can you prepare your mind? Can you prepare your mind? Can you prepare your mind to a state of helplessness? Helplessness means what? You drop and dissolve all you are expecting from the world outside. That is the case outside. That is the state of helplessness. Ramakrishna says that is another text. I told you I have only read 100, maximum 300, 350. Can I read all the 3,000? It will take 1,000 years. But you get the essence. You pick up the essence, even studying these texts and living under a teacher. You pick up the essence, and you can easily make out. Oh, what is this? Is the masses. So whether I simply say I'm attached to the divine, simple. Another explanation, I'm happy or unhappy, oh, pertaining to the word, I am happiness. So I'm attached to I am happiness. That is the Krishna. Another, you rightly said, baby is crying in helplessness. Pick up any path. Pick up any approach. Oh, helplessness means what? I cannot make any effort. Who makes an effort? Ego. What is ego? The false I. You move from the false I to the ah. You look at that is the way of reflection. So that is the first step by has to be by the seeker. Second step is the he simply said the practice of yoga. So here the yoga means at yoga anushashanam. Patanjali says yoga is a discipline. So Krishna say, oh, use this. So it means you have to use in a right manner, minimum amount, what is required in your life from the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. That is why Gita is greater text than the. That is why we say Gita is the summary of all the text. Pick up what is required. And what is required. So here one approach, regular listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, practice and experience, Mangalacharan, organized lifestyle. Patanjali says yama and niyama. I am simply converted that into an organized lifestyle. So right food, right effort. It is also the Buddhism, Eightfold Noble Path. Right effort, right intention, right livelihood. Why? Ask yourself why. If you don't use the word right, it causes a lot of stress and anxiety in your life because your mind will start expecting the false I.
Don't use the word right or it will use you, right?
Right effort, right food, right livelihood. That is what our right knowledge, right view, right perception, Buddhism. Krishna, Krishna will put into this in the same chapter. He says balanced effort, balanced diet, balanced sleep. You should not undersleep, you should not oversleep. Oh, so it simply in the beginning we should follow with reasoning and the logic. Oh yes, this is a wonderful food, so I overeat. No, I have to maintain my awareness. This food I don't like, but the food is nutritious and still I eat it. Mind, I will crush your attachment to the food today. This food is full of nutrition. It is required by the body. I will definitely eat. So internally you say, you don't object. You don't create any fuss with anyone in the family. Why? Yoga practice, why? Have to live in higher awareness. Why? I should not be attached to anything. Master has said, Krishna has said in a very simple word, but it has a deeper significance. First is attachment to the divine. Second, I have already explained the practice of yoga. Third is taking complete refuse. That is the third condition. Complete refuse means what? I have to pay my debt and I'm pissed off. What should I do? Invite Krishna also there. Krishna, you help me. Let me contemplate, reflect. What are the options? Krishna, are you there? Complete refuse. That journey Ramakrishna did. Oh, I'm scared of death, really scared of death. Who has given me life? Krishna. Who will take my life? Krishna. Finished. I complete refuse. Now you see, Eastern wisdom principles are the same. In Buddhism, we have the Mangalacharan mantra. What is that? Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge in Buddha. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge in collective consciousness. What is this? Karma Yoga. Collective. I have to work with you. You have to work with me. The family. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge in Dhamma. Literal translation, I take refuge in Dharma or the religion. No. Wrong translation. Dhamma means my essential nature. I'm taking refuge in the Supreme Consciousness. That is a complete refuge. Principles, you cannot change the principle. Expressions may be changed, but Krishna, Gita is a supreme text in a sense that it includes everything. You can refer, how it includes everything. That depends on your journey of how much you have paid attention to this, what you have studied, what you have reflected. You see the third 3 points. 3 steps by the sea. Krishna says, now see another. Arjuna is helping all of us. Arjuna is a seeker, is helping all of us. Why? The Krishna is guiding the Arjuna. And now I'm learning from the Krishna, teaching given to the Arjuna, that I have to follow these 3 steps religiously. religiously. Did I do the practice yesterday when I invited you all? Yes. Those who did not come, that's okay. Those who came, okay. Another girl came at around 3:30. I said, we are waiting for you. We will wait until 4. We kept this everything intact. She ate and the rest, he said, oh, rest is, are you ready? Yes, you take everything. So we were still waited for another Shiva and the Krishna. And she was so happy. She's already 23, 24. She has attended many of my sessions. So did I not practice yesterday? Yes, throughout the day I was practicing. Totally immersed in the presence of my master. 3 steps by the seeker. 3 steps by the seeker and the 3 promises. Now the 3 promises. What are the 3 promises made by the message for the seeker? You can say focus of the consciousness. Now I'm dry intellectual understanding. Focus of your consciousness inside. It becomes a spiritual practice. We did not understand. Divine refuse. Did not use. When you use these words intellectually, you don't understand. Complete knowledge. But what I have already explained you in the three steps: receptive listening. A lot of other words we don't understand. These. It is not clear. Now the three promises by of by our master. Then what the Krishna says? Krishna says, I will remove all your doubt about the highest reality. Why? Because it is the highest knowledge. In the highest knowledge, there is no doubt. The false does not touch. The ignorance cannot touch there. I will explain you that no, Krishna says, I will explain you this supreme consciousness comprehensively. So comprehensively, comprehensive detail, complete revelation. Nothing is left. But that is the seventh chapter is just a beginning. He will explain everything until another 5 chapters. So without doubt, so it means what? If I have a doubt, then only I suffer from anxiety and the stress. That is the masses. Masses is different. First, without doubt. No doubt at all means what? So your mind says, I have understood. And after the session, you are into anxiety. So there is a doubt. There is a doubt. Now I'm in stress. Come on, the stress cannot touch you. So that is the second step. Krishna says second step. I will explain you comprehensively in such a minute detail that there is no chance of the fear, anxiety, duality, and a conflict in your life. Third, you shall know. He uses the word you shall know. Ultimate knowledge that makes all others seeking useless. I have a lot of anxiety, let me relax. You are relaxed physically. Mind says, I still have a problem. My honey doesn't listen to me, now I remember. You still have a problem. It is not comprehensive understanding. It is, oh, I saw her there. So it is not without doubt. I'm just giving a very practical day-to-day American example, American life. Oh, why you went there? Why you spent so much of time there? Who met you there? Whom did you talk? Come on. Ask the same questions to yourself. Why you are so much busy in your mind, asking the questions about why don't you ask the same questions to yourself? You shall know. Understand? You shall know. I'm explaining that. You shall know. So I shall know where you were. You shall know where you were. Question drops. Where I am. Why I'm asking. Where you were, I'm asking because of the doubt. Because there is some fear. Because there is a sense of anxiety. Should I not ask in family affairs? Yes, I should ask. Minus attachment. Attachment is to the divine, the 3 steps of the seeker. Very challenging, but very interesting. Very challenging, but if we understand, now let us look into the Sanskrit language, the language of Eastern wisdom. It is the language of this spirituality. That is why you see majority of the masters, if you study the classical text and classical masters who followed the journey, they go on explaining each and every word. Asanshayam. Asanshayam means a word is prefix is used as a negative, meaning without or free from. Sanshaya means the doubt. Can I give you another definition? I have given that definition to you maybe I think 5 or 6 times. I'm reminding you. What is doubt? When the right knowledge sleeps, that is known as the doubt. Oh, so it means right knowledge never sleeps. How it is possible? Don't ask me. You wake up in the morning, you are still Eric. Don't you remember? You don't become Michael. You don't become Nancy. You don't become Carlin. Oh, yes, now I understand. Can I compare this? I am the real self. No doubt. I am there. I'm awakened. Can I say I'm awakened? No, never say it. That expression comes from the false eye. You need not to say it. You are there. You are a man. Do you go to the mall and declare that I'm a man? Master says no. You have to be very careful. Asanshayam. So I gave you one, that's a beautiful definition. Where the knowledge sleeps, you have it up. Where you have gone, so knowledge is sleeping. While you spend 3 hours, it is a job of 1 hour. So I don't know where you spend 3 hours, so there is a doubt. So my mind fell. I'm just giving you a simple doubt. Doubt on the real self is a significant obstacle on the path of the spirituality. Not doubt on your outside. I'm saying doubt on the real self, doubt on the Krishna, doubt on the Shiva. So once you reach there, then you throw Krishna and throw Shiva, throw everyone. Don't worry about it. You have reached there. Why you throw it? Because that Krishna you have spoken through the mind. You cannot throw the Krishna as the real self. You cannot throw. Paradox logic. It's a very interesting that we are going to cover in the ninth. Yes, in the ninth and 10th chapter. So doubt is not my enemy. Again, you have to be very clear. People have a lot of doubt. I'm adding right doubt to remove confusion and conflict in these principles. I have to drop wrong doubt. I have to use the doubt. If you don't use the doubt, so you don't have a question. If you don't have a question, then you have a blind belief. And if you have a blind belief, then you follow the religion. You don't follow the Eastern wisdom. Second, Master says 3 promises. Second promise he gives. So, did you understand? Krishna is asking, without doubt, why he says to the Arjuna is ready. He has all the three steps clear. That is why he is saying. So it means I have to become an Arjuna in order to listen. Oh, without doubt. Second, he says samagram. Samagram means perfect, complete, foremost, whole, in its entirety. So now compare the free from the doubt and entirety. So when I know anything with entirety, there is no doubt left. That knowledge is given. I'm laying too much of stress, I know that, because it is very important. So we will remind ourselves, samagram, samagram, samagram. And third is, gyasyasi, you shall know. To know, to understand, to realize. All are used in the same sense. A definitive promise. Krishna gives a definitive promise of knowledge that will be attained. Do you still remember what is real self? What is karma yoga? What is karma yoga and what are the purusharthas? First 6 chapters. Just opposite. What is the supreme consciousness? What is upasana? What is grace and the blessing? So Master is pointing out. Once you follow 3 steps, you promise me you are in the mode of 3 steps, I promise you these 3 things in your life. You promise me, I also promise you. You shall know. So it means my journey has to be continuous. I gave you another example. You get worried about what will happen tomorrow. Not a bad thing. The moment you have that doubt, you are lacking karma yoga. Take in a positive sense. You don't have any doubt what will happen tomorrow. Krishna is there. You're ready. I'll give you a lot of those simple phrases. Anytime you have any little upset, how to manage. Okay. So if the doubt is not there, the knowledge is not sleeping, he says, yes, I will perform my duty, but you are my friend, Krishna, you help me. You are supporting me. You have created the challenges because you want me to rise in consciousness and find the solution. That is the key. So you see how they are related, these three. 3 on one side and 3 from the point of view seeker, and 3 Krishna. 3 points Arjuna. Gyasasi. Gyasasi. Masses to the seeker. Remembrance of the. See, that is that. So what happens when your mind moves into these 6? You remember that I'm getting the coaching, I'm getting the knowledge from the Krishna. The Krishna will definitely reveal that knowledge. Your mindset is prepared by the 3 steps that you undertake. That is the way to understand profound definition of then what happens. Then what happens? I gave you a lay background for the next lesson. I thought that I will complete this lesson. So, Ishvara. I like to explain the word Ishvara from Patanjali also. He has given a very, very, very complete definition of Ishvara in the first chapter. And the sutra is 24. So he uses the Ishvara here also. Krishna also uses the word Ishvara. And so Patanjali. Both belongs to the Eastern wisdom. So we have a right interpretation and understanding of the Ishvara we may get from the Patanjali. So I'm just giving you the few words. Correct analytical definition. What is this? Klesha karma vipaka ashaya param resta purusa vishesha Ishvara. You can write it down. Ishvara is free from ignorance. First thing, Patanjali definition appeals. Free from ignorance, free from ego identity or false I, free from raga, attachment, or you can simply say free from raga, free from detachment, or you can say free from RSM syndrome. We did it. And the 5th one, the free from fear of death. Means who is Ishvara? So I want to leave with an idea, with a thought for you to contemplate what. So you are saying, Patanjali is saying that Ishvara is that individual, yes, that individual, who is free from ignorance, falsi, falsi, from RSM syndrome, from the fear of death, is known as the Ishvara. What is the question? If I become free from all, will I be an Ishvara? You have to answer that question. Contemplate and reflect. I'm leaving on you. Will I be an Ishvara? One thing is very clear. I experience all pervading in the eternal nature of the real self when awakening takes place. Ishvara is also all pervading. Ishvara is also eternal. Will I be? Uh, yes, we don't leave any doubt. And that is what answer to this question in many ways is explained by the Krishna in next 5 chapters, but we have yet to complete the 7th chapter.